guys, today I'm finally going to be doing a walkthrough of my bullet journal, kind of how I've set it up, what different collections I have in here, how I use it. I know I've been saying for a while that I was going to do this video and some people have requested it as well, so I apologise that I haven't gotten this up sooner. I did take a little bit of a break from YouTube for a while just because I kind of needed it. I had some things going on in my personal life, so I'm sorry that it's taking me this long to get this video up, but I hope you guys enjoy this one. Just quickly before I get into showing you what is in this bullet journal, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. So first of all, this is the Leuchtturm 1917. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I will leave a link to this below if you want to check it out. If you can see, they do tons of different colours. The one that I have is the dotted version, it's the navy colour, but they do a ton of different coloured covers and a ton of different types of paper. So you can get dotted, you can get lined, you can get plain, you can get grid. I think there's a whole variety of different options that you can get depending on what your preference is. So that is the actual bullet journal that I use, and to write in the bullet journal I use the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners, which I will link below as well if you want to check them out. I just bought a set of those on Amazon. I think it was Amazon. Pretty sure it's Amazon. So I have an array of different colours that I can use in this, which is nice because it just kind of jazzes it up a bit and makes a difference from just using plain black or plain blue. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is just to bear in mind that I was heavily inspired to start a bullet journal by Boho Berry. So a lot of the designs that you'll see in here are basically directly copied from her. I'm not the most creative person in the world. I'm trying to get better at it, which is why I like the idea of bullet journaling. That's why it kind of appealed to me, because you can kind of doodle in it, you can make it your own basically. But initially I heavily relied on Boho Berry's bullet journal videos and blog posts to get ideas for what I wanted to do. So I started off basically copying how she has her bullet journal laid out, or how she did when I started. So if you've seen any of her bullet journal videos or posts, then some of the stuff that you see in here might look a bit familiar to you, but it's just kind of what works best for me. I know people say, you know, take inspiration from other people but make it your own, and I just kind of started out imitating what she had done, and then from there I've developed things and changed things about and stuck with things that I liked and got rid of things that I didn't like and kind of made it more my own and made it fit me. So bullet journaling, in case you aren't aware of what it is, it's basically just a form of rapid logging tasks. I will leave a link to Ryder Carroll's website below, because he's the one that kind of started all of this and he explains it really well, and it's a very basic, simple way to start bullet journaling if you're looking to start. I really like the idea of it because you can kind of do whatever you want with it. I started off liking the whole task list thing, and then there's all different kinds of collections that you can put in there. I have one for books that I like to read, I have one in there for song lyrics that I really like from a particular album. You'll see all of that as I go through it. You can doodle in it, you can draw in it, you can make lists of things, you can basically do whatever you want. You can put your budget in there. There's loads of things that you can do with it. If you search on YouTube, you will find tons of videos of people sharing their bullet journals and different ways that they use it. You can literally do whatever you want with it. If you want it to just be a book to keep all of your daily tasks in and to-do lists, then that's fine. It's whatever you want it to be. That's like the biggest point that I can hammer home, is whatever you want it to be. Don't listen to what anybody else tells you that it has to be or it can't be. You make it whatever you want it to be. So I think I need to stop blabbering now and just get on and show you guys how I've set up my bullet journal. But like I said, link to Ryder Carroll's website will be below, because that really does make it very simple to get started, and then from there you can embellish it if you want to. I'll also link Boho Berry's YouTube channel and her blog, so you can check that out because she's amazing. She's so creative, her designs are gorgeous. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else that I can think of that would be helpful, that I think would be helpful to you guys, I'll leave that link below as well, so make sure you check that out. Whilst you're there, subscribe to me to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Check out all of my other links as well, because I often post pictures on Instagram, my bullet journal and stuff like that. But I'm going to shut up now and get on and show you guys how I've set up my bullet journal. Okay, so this is my Leuchtturm 1917 in navy, and I have the dot grid, and the pens that I use to kind of decorate my bullet journal with are these Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners, which I have this set here, which has 12 colours, which have been brilliant. I absolutely love them. Kind of getting a little bored of the colour selection now. I kind of want to get the big 30 pack just to have a few more colour options to decorate with, but that's what I'm using for now. So this is the front cover. You'll notice as we go through there'll be certain bits covered up just for kind of privacy and personal reasons. But yes, this is the front cover, and my word of the year is action. I just have a few quotes that go with that. You'll also notice I've got a few tabs down the side just for kind of my most referenced pages or things that I want to keep going back to. Then we have my index for this bullet journal. The next page is kind of where my bullet journal really starts. So this is my year at a glance, which to be honest, I don't really reference all that often. So for my next bullet journal, I probably won't include it. Then I have my personal goals and my business goals, which I don't have very many. And again, this is kind of one that I don't reference all too often. So that's why I put a little tab here just to kind of remind me to refer back to it when I'm setting kind of daily and weekly and monthly tasks. It's good to kind of look back at this and see what are my main goals for the year, what did I want to accomplish, and what steps can I take for this month or week or day, whatever it might be. Next is my future log, which spans a couple of spreads. And again, this is something that I don't really reference all that often. I was kind of a bit I didn't quite know how to utilise the bullet journal alongside my personal planner, and I think what I'm actually going to do, because I love bullet journaling so much and it makes a bit more sense for me, I'm going to continue with the bullet journal and I'm going to do away with my personal planner, which pains me to say because I do love the personal planner. And I love using the stickers and stuff, but I just think it's not really very practical. I haven't really been keeping up with planning out in my personal planner, so I think I'm just going to get a little pocket diary just to keep track of dates for the future for birthdays and events and things like that. And then I won't have this future log in my bullet journal because I won't need it. Next I have my level 10 life and level 10 goals spread. So basically this is my level 10 life graph, and then the goals for each of those are down here. So on the next page I have my books to read, which I don't know, you might just be able to read this down here. What I tend to do when I'm kind of doodling or drawing or hand lettering in my bullet journal, I will do it in pencil first and then go back in with a pen later, because I'm not very artistic, and most times I will draw something out or doodle something out, write something out, and then have to erase it and do it again because it's not quite right, it doesn't look right, it's not centered, it's whatever. So I do everything in pencil first, and I just haven't had the chance to go back and put this in pen. But basically this says please refer to Goodreads, because I started using my Goodreads account again. So all of these books have been added to that list and I now don't refer to this page at all. Next I have my savings goals, which these aren't my goals for the year, these are kind of my goals for the time being. So that just kind of keeps me on track so I don't spend in other areas. It kind of makes me focus on the fact that I'm trying to save for these specific things. Next I have my video ideas and blog ideas spread, which to be perfectly honest, I don't really refer to this. This is kind of where that disjoint between my bullet journal and my personal planner come in, because I plan out all of my videos and blogs in my personal planner, which I'm going to be looking at creating a monthly spread in my bullet journal going forward, because I will be doing away with my personal planner. My personal planner runs out at the beginning of June, so I just have a month left basically of my personal planner, and then I will be solely using the bullet journal. So I need to create a monthly spread in this so that I can plan my videos and blog posts in that the way that I do in my personal planner. But I kind of created this spread thinking I would make a list of kind of general ideas and topics and things like that, and I never really did. I kind of put a few goals on there or a few ideas on there and then haven't really referenced it since. So then we get started with January. This is my January monthly spread, I guess you could call it. Again, this is heavily borrowed from Boho Berry. Like a lot of the things you've already seen, it's kind of borrowed from Boho Berry. But this is a spread that I will also be doing away with, or you'll see as we go through that I have actually done away with it. I just didn't reference it. I kind of did it and filled it in with what I had, and then there were certain things that were supposed to happen on one day and then it got moved to another day, and I didn't quite know how to mark that in this, and then it got cancelled completely, and I don't like the idea of kind of crossing things through, so I just yeah, I didn't reference it at all going through the month, so it didn't really work for me. And like I said, I will be getting just a little pocket-sized diary to keep track of things like meetings and birthdays, events, social events, all that kind of thing. And the goals bit down the side here, I'm now incorporating kind of at the start of my dailies for that month. Like the first of the month I kind of have a new goals for the month that I set then, and I have a little tab so I can keep referring back to it, which you'll see when we get to April. On the next page I have my January budget and my January tracker. So obviously my January budget, I just log how much income I have and then what my usual expenses are for the month, and then anything extra. So I have a set amount that I put into mine and Ben's joint account for the month, and then if we need extra in there for a particular reason, if we need to buy something for the house or for having work done on the car or anything like that, I transfer that money as kind of extra. And then just anything else, if I've got something coming up that I know that I want to buy, like you can see here, I have my dad's birthday coming up, so obviously I want to set aside money for his birthday, for a card and presents, stuff like that. I just kind of list those out here, and then I have the balance of what I was left with to kind of play with for that month. And then I have my January tracker, which this is something that I absolutely love filling in, and I've quite surprised myself that I do actually fill this in on a daily basis. So basically you just write the days of the week along the top, and then down the side you list out specific goals that you want to accomplish across the month. So rather than writing it in your dailies and having to write it every single day and just having a massive dailies list, or it kind of filling up your bullet journal a bit too quickly, this way you can track them all on one page for the month, and it kind of helps you see when you're tracking it all in one place where you may not be focusing on a particular goal. As you can see, meditation, I started off quite well and then I stopped, and you'll see I still haven't quite managed to pick that back up again yet. But certain other things you'll see that I wasn't doing, and now because I'm seeing this on a daily basis, it's kind of making me think, oh, I need to do that tomorrow, I need to make sure I do this. So it kind of keeps me on track for certain goals that I have, so really love that spread. The one thing I will say, as pretty as it looks having lots of different colours, it was a pain in the ass having to keep switching between each colour to fill in each day, because obviously this is one day going down this way, so I'd have to pick up the yellow pen and fill that in, and then pick up the purple one and fill that in. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're sat there trying to do that every day, it gets kind of annoying and takes longer than you'd like for it to be. So it just makes a bit more sense to have it all in the same colour. So as we go through later months, you'll see how I've changed this spread up a little bit colour wise. The next spread is my gratitude log, which I absolutely love. I love sitting down at the end of the day and filling this in. I fill in 2 things that I'm grateful for each and every day, and it's really lovely to just kind of look back on and see all of the things that you're grateful for, all the good things that have happened, and it just puts you in a more positive mind frame. You'll see in later months that I've kind of jazzed it up a little bit, added a bit more colour, so it's a bit more pretty to look at, but this is a spread that I absolutely loved and continue to use. Here we have my YouTube and blog stats for this year. So I kind of had where I was starting from for December, and then each month at the end of the month I log my stats for various different areas. So how many subscribers, page views on my blog, my social media followers, my earnings, and just kind of, it's a nice little overview of how I'm getting on, where I maybe need to focus a bit more effort if I want to grow a certain area and that kind of thing. So really like this spread as well, and I have the little ribbon just to kind of hold that place mark. I probably could put a tab in there, but I was just started off using this, and I've kind of just stuck with using this to mark that page. And then we get into my dailies. So this is generally how I do my dailies. As I flip through, you'll kind of see how I've changed up the headers, but generally the layout stays fairly the same. So I start off with writing in the date and the day at the top, and then I just list out my to-dos for that day. If I do them, I put a tick. If I don't get it done that day, but I still want to get it done, I put a forward arrow. And if I don't get it done that day, but decide that actually it doesn't need doing at all, it's too much hassle to move it to the next day, it's kind of not worth my time doing, it's not that important, I will just put a cross through it, and that will be the end of it. If it gets moved forward, then when I write the next day's date, I will then add that in as extra to be done. So you can see here, clothes washing didn't get done on the Monday, so I moved it forward to the Tuesday and it got done then. So I tend to do my dailies day by day, so it'll be Monday, I'll write out Monday and I'll write the to-do list, and then maybe towards the end of the day, or if I know I won't be filling in any more to-do lists for that day, I'll go ahead and write in Tuesday's header and start listing out my to-do list for that day. But generally I don't go any further than a day ahead, just because I don't know what's going to come up the following day. There might be more that I need to add and I then won't have the space for it. And then as I go through the week, I'll kind of go in and go back and add in doodles and different things like that to signify certain things that happened on certain dates, or just the general feel of that week, or whatever I'm feeling like will just kind of get doodled and jotted down in there. Just kind of, it's kind of a little bit like a journal in that sense, where I can just kind of have a glance through and remember certain things that happened on certain weeks and certain days. Here I have some lyrics that I really liked from various different songs on Hilary Duff's Breathe In, Breathe Out album. So I just kind of, I looked online to find different kinds of fonts and then just copied them into here and just did different things in different colours, and I really love how this turned out. It took me quite a while to do this. It was just a really nice, enjoyable kind of creative outlet for me, and so I really love that spread. And then we have more dailies. Here I created a spread for my someday tasks. So basically, if it's not on my daily to-do list, if I kind of am out and about or wherever really, and I think of something that I would like to get done at some point, but it doesn't need to get done today or this week or this month, it's kind of, oh, that would be really handy to get that done, or I'd quite like to get that done, but it's not 100% necessary. You know, if I don't get it done, nothing bad's going to happen. I add it to this list, and then as and when I find that I have a little bit of time, I can look at this and maybe work on some of these goals, but they're not kind of urgent things that have to get done. And then we move into February, so you'll see that I've done away with the month at a glance spread, and I've just put my February goals down here. But as you can see, I don't have that many goals for the month because I don't like to overwhelm myself. I kind of like to set things that are realistic for me, and as you can probably see, there's a lot of things on here that I didn't actually accomplish. So I have all of this white space here, which I'm not too fond of. I'll probably go back at some point and put some sort of doodle or something in there, but that's kind of my next incarnation of the monthly spread, if you will. And again, we have my budget for February and then my February tracker over here. So this time around, still very colourful, but I just picked one colour for the day. So I did all yellow and then all orange and then all purple and so on, which was a lot easier for me to kind of fill in. Then my February gratitude log, which as you can see, I've added a bit more colour and some designs, which I really love the colours of this spread, and I love the arrows that I drew up here. I think it's really pretty. So again, just more gratitude for the month of February. And then we move into February's dailies. So they're not always dailies. Sometimes I'll do a to-do list for the week. So certain things that I know that I need to get done that week, I'll just do a to-do list, and then I'll kind of fill in across the week as and when I need to. You'll see this week I literally did a list for that week, and then I just did a list for Tuesday, and then I had a list for the weekend of what I needed to get done that weekend. So I don't always do a daily list. Sometimes it's a weekly list, sometimes it's a weekend list. I don't necessarily do a to-do list for every single day. If I haven't got a lot going on that I need to make sure that I'm getting done, then I won't take up space in my bullet journal to do it. But you'll see as we go through, I kind of do generally tend to do a to-do list for the day, but I don't always. Here I have a date ideas spread, so just some ideas for as and when me and Ben feel like doing something, going on a date. We're not having to kind of rack our brains to think of something fun to do. We've got a list here that we can work from. And then we're into March. So again, my March budget and then my March tracker. So this time around I did 2 different colours and did a week of each and alternated them across the month. And again, that was a bit easier. Most of the time I will sit down that night and fill in what I've done that day, what tasks I've checked off, but sometimes I'm not always able to fill in everything. So for example, I'll sit down and do this before I go to bed, and then I'll go to bed and read. So then where I've got reading on the list, I won't obviously check that off before I do it, just in case I get into bed and me and Ben end up chatting, or I'm just really tired and end up going to sleep instead. So I wait until the next day to fill in the previous day for certain tasks. So that's kind of why I stuck to the same colour for a week's worth, just because it was a bit easier, again, not having to switch out colours for different days. My gratitude log for March looks very similar to the February one. I just kind of switched up the colours a bit. And then you can see here, this is where I've done my March goals. I've just put that on kind of where I'd start my dailies. I've started off with my goals for the month and then gone into my dailies. Here I have a spread for my wedding to-do list, which is ever growing, and I don't ever seem to be crossing things off the list, but I have that tabbed as well just so I can keep referring back to it and adding in things that I need to get done to my dailies. And then we're on to April. So again, my April budget, and then on this page we have my April tracker, which this time around I decided to stick with all the same colour just because it was easier, and it's kind of a bit easier on the eye. It's not so chaotic, and I can kind of see a bit easier where I've kind of not done certain things. So you can see multivitamin I wasn't doing, and then I picked up a multivitamin, so I've started taking that again. And you can see that I'm still not meditating yet. I haven't found the time to sit down and do that, but I have just purchased Hal Elrod's book called The Miracle Morning, which is kind of about getting up earlier and doing certain things for about 10 minutes at a time in the morning and kind of getting them out of the way first thing. I haven't read the book yet, so I'm not sure exactly all of the details, but I do believe meditation is kind of part of it. So I'm hoping once I've read that, I will be able to incorporate that into my morning routine and start ticking that off the list as well. I also put a little bit of washi tape down because it kind of went and I just felt like it basically. Then we have my gratitude log for April, which I kind of switched up the header. I didn't stick with the arrows, which I do love, but it's kind of turning into spring here, so I was kind of doing more of the flowers and stuff, so I like how this looks as well. And then into the April dailies. So again, I started off with my April goals at the top and then moved into my dailies, which, because we are still in April, I have this page tabbed so that I can keep referring back to my April goals. This spread is my wish list spread, so basically anything that I want or would like in my life I list out in here. On this page I have my books to be reread, so these are all books that I have already read and I fancy rereading them again at some point. I know some people have this kind of spread with bookshelves to write out what books they have read to keep track of how many books they're reading in the year. But I kind of have Goodreads for that and I don't want to double up in my bullet journal, so I thought this would be quite nice to have a books to be reread at some point in the future, and then as and when I reread them I will colour them in. And then on this side you perhaps can't tell too well because most of it's in pencil, but I've kind of done a similar thing for my films to watch and kind of done shelves and put where the writing would go, and then have listed out a few of the films that I want to watch, and then if I have watched them I underline them. So there'll be some films in here that I have already watched that I just really fancy re-watching, and then other ones are new films like Allegiant that I want to watch. Obviously that's come out, I haven't watched that yet. Mockingjay I haven't watched yet, so I'd like to watch that. Just things like that are in this spread. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is the thing that I'm most excited for. So here is where my Tone Up Bikini series spreads start. So I'm doing the Tone Up Bikini series for this year, which if you don't know what that is, it's an 8-week challenge. I'll leave a link to their website below if you want to check that out. If you're interested in working out, fitness, healthy living, anything like that, I think you might be interested in that. You might have already seen this spread on Instagram or on my blog if you follow that. So here I've just listed out my goals for the next 8 weeks and then my starting weight and measurements. Not sure what I'm going to do on this side just yet. I might use it as a journaling page or maybe to go into a bit more detail about my goals or something like that. Not too sure yet. And then I just have this little post-it tab which I picked up recently, and I'll probably replace some of these other paper tabs at some point, but I just wanted to mark this because I'm going to kind of be referring back to this quite frequently, so I wanted something a bit sturdier to mark where this starts. So then this and the next 7 spreads are my weekly spreads for the Tone Up Bikini series. So basically each week Tone It Up release a weekly workout schedule which lists out what workouts you need to be doing each day basically. So in this first column I have whether or not I did the daily moves that Tone Up set, and then I also have somewhere where I can track how many miles I did that day and how many miles total I've done for the bikini series so far. And then the next couple of columns are my morning and afternoon workouts, which Tone Up set. And then I have a column here for challenges. Sometimes they'll set extra challenges, like it might be to lay out your workout clothes the night before, or it might be something like have a bubble bath, or go for a walk with a friend, something like that. They might set kind of an extra challenge, so that will be where I write that in there. And then I have a column for check-ins because they encourage you to check in on social media, so it just kind of holds you accountable and it's really fun to take part in, join in with all the other girls doing it and kind of support each other. So I have that there where I can check off if I've checked in on any of those different places. And then down the bottom I just have a little note section just because I had extra space. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. That's kind of what this post-it note is about, just kind of ideas for what I could fill in there, whether that's some journaling or what I would like to try and improve upon next week, or favourite meals or favourite workouts or anything like that. I'm not tracking my meals in this. This is just purely for the workouts and extra challenges that they might set. So that is my bullet journal setup. Next weekend I'm going to be drawing out the next month's kind of monthly spread, so I'll be drawing out the budget and the monthly tracker and deciding on my goals for the month and that kind of thing. If you would like to see a kind of plan with me showing you how I do that, kind of sped up into music, then let me know, because I could definitely do that. I obviously won't be doing that for this coming month because that's going to be designed this weekend, but I can definitely do that for June. If you would like to see me kind of set up my monthly spreads for June, then let me know in the comments below, because I can definitely do that. But yeah, if there's anything in this that you would like me to go into a bit more detail about, then let me know and I can talk about that some more in a different video or in a blog post. And if you have any other bullet journal related videos that you would like to see from me, let me know those in the comments as well. But other than that, I hope you found this helpful. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, so that I know. Leave me your comments below, check out all of my links, and subscribe if you're not already to be notified of when new videos come out from me. But otherwise, I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys! Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing another Get Ready With Me featuring the Urban Decay Sustainable palette, which is my pan-up palette for this year.